dad as a human.
Yeah.
So your dad as a human. Sorry.
Well, as a creation of God. So I was able to forgive him because I know that God um, forgave him. Um, um, yeah. So Alina, there was a long history of things. And it is my belief that the reason Alina um, came to the situation that she's in now is because, first of all, I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand the whole concept of being oppressed and possessed by demons. And I've been on disability for a very long time in my life. I was on antidepressants for nearly 24 years, or 24 plus years, because I have CPTSD, which is childhood post-traumatic stress disorder. And I'm sure that my brothers and sisters have the same thing. They chose a different route. My sister is still in the offshoot of Worldwide Church of God. I have a sister that's diagnosed schizophrenic and all that stuff. And I have a brother that the brother that thinks that he's God. And so it's really hard. It's really hard to know that that they are continuing with the demonic oppression, possession. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure which one it is. But their hearts are very hardened. I also have an older son that has, because I didn't quite understand what was going on with with all this the religious things
in your past,
in my past, and in my when I
transitioned to.
Well, no, I mean, so I knew. I just didn't understand that I was sending my son into the wolf's den. So if you feel led to pray about my son, his name is Tyson, and I'm currently I'm doing not apparently it's not a fast, but it's like a sacrificial giving up of certain foods and um, in hopes. It's a 30-day thing that I'm doing because I'm there's not much time, and I'm extremely sad for my family. So anyway, so now back to my daughter. So because I didn't realize the implications and how serious this spiritual warfare was. I at one point I started having I don't know if it was a belief, but I started going to church, and for like a 10-year period of time, I was in I went from Ukiah, California, and we moved to Fort Bragg, California, and we had gone to churches during that time, and this is the time when I started allowing my my oldest son to go with my brother, not realizing, like I said, that I was sending him into the wolf's den. I just had a lot of depression. I still do, and so that I sent my son with my brother to help him have a male figure. And again, uh, wrong thing to do. I've had some experiences with the spiritual realm. I didn't realize that again, I didn't realize the implications of it. And I think that God saved me through a lot of that stuff, or protected me through a lot of it, because there were things in my life that could very well have killed me. Just the lifestyle that I had, and maybe in future um, talks I will express them. What I had to do is go through in my memory to kind of get rid of to get rid of a lot of the anger and the hurt and the hate that I had. God put it on my heart to go through each experience that I could remember, because there's a lot of experiences that I didn't remember, but to go through each experience and to write it down, which was very hard because those are not experiences you want to go through. Write it down, and then write down where I saw how God was there. That wasn't an easy thing to do, but it took me a good 4 months to do it. It was a hard thing to do. So anyway, so until the questions I have questions about whether I was saved when I was in the first stint of going to churches, because there was like a 10 to 12 year period of time where I was going to church. I brought my family, and they got baptized. Whether they got saved at that point, I'm not sure. But I walked away for 20 years too. So, I don't know. I think it was Paul that said if they don't stay with us, I'm not sure which prophet it was, but said that if they come into the faith and they leave, they were never of the faith. So that's what I'm kind of going on, because I literally walked away, and I didn't have the life-changing experience that I had then that I had this time in 2021. It was hard. I mean, but the things that I learned when I was those 10 years that I was going to church, I picked them up and I continued with them. It was a really strange situation. I thought that I would. Well, actually, I really didn't know what was going to happen. But one thing that I realized when I was in that 10-year period of time where I was going to church is that so there's a couple of things that this life is not for God to see what we're going to do, but for us to see what we're going to do, because God already knows. God sees from the beginning to the end, so He already knows what we're going to do, who's going to accept His saving grace. and who's not. So this life that we're living is not for God to see. It's for us to learn about God. And I can't remember the other thing that I was going to talk about. Anyway, I've had some encounters with what I feel like were demons, and I even had an encounter when with an angel that I feel that I came into a very a time in my life where I wish that I would have listened. It was. Should I go into that, or am I talking too much?
Into the angel and demon part?
Yeah.
What do you feel? Do you feel led to do it?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
well,
I feel like I'm talking too much.
Okay, then I'll talk about me, and then you decide if you want to. My name is Alina. I sound like a man because I'm at the age of 13. I started my transitioning, because you can't actually change your gender, transitioning into a male. So I'm transgender detransitioning back to my biological sex. And it's I've been a Christian for about 2 years, and it's still hard to give up a lot of things. I mean, as a Christian, it's hard to give up your sins. So at 13, this is where it started. I saw something on TV that said, "Hey, this man changed his gender off and on."
Off and on? What do you mean?
Like, if I remember correctly, in the video on TV, he changed his gender and then went back to his original gender and then went back to changing his gender. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's what I learned, and I was like, you can change your gender. That's what I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do that because my homosexuality. So that was since I was 13, and I'm 27 now.
Okay, I want to kind of get in here too. So when Alina was a very young child, she had male acting tendencies.
Before 13?
Yeah. But from the time you were about 3 years old, she had these male acting tendencies. And I thought that she was just a tom girl, wanted to.
I believe I still am. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, just I didn't. I'm not a girly girl, so I didn't think that there was a something that I should really be concerned about. Until she came to me and said, her words to me were, I think they were like, she was 13 and she said, "I want to be a boy." Okay, and at this time I had walked away from God, so when she said that, I wanted to be inclusive because that's where it was. It was, what year was that? It was like 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009.
Was Obama the president?
No,
it was Bush.
Yeah. And so because I wanted to be inclusive, I was like, oh, okay. I had started going to college at that time, and so it was, I was, um, felt like I was doing the right thing. Okay, go ahead.
Uh,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. So she said, I want to be a boy. And my reaction was, oh, you like girls, and oh, so you're a lesbian.
you done? Sorry.
No, and so I didn't know. She's like, no, I want to be a boy. I wasn't sure how to handle that, but of course, being the good parent and trying to make her feel comfortable, I was like, oh, okay. So we started binding her
Chest. Yeah.
chest. Okay, go ahead. Breasts
yeah.
at that time.
So yeah, 13 is where it started. I was able to take injections.
No,
Well, first I had to go through therapy, and it was like it was pretty easy. It was like go through therapy, and it didn't take that long.
Well, but it took longer than it does today. It took her.
Yeah, it took longer.
It took her years instead of months.
It was simple.
Hours.
Like, it wasn't like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? It was like, okay, you want to do this? Okay, a couple more therapy sessions, but it wasn't like, it was a simple process, but it took a while. Yeah, like today it's simple, just faster.
Apparently you can get it in hours. You can get a doctor to say in hours over the phone, hey, yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so
that was like 2015, I think. That
yeah.
So you started when you were 13. You started binding. I
came out at that, and then we got the process started, and we binded. I was like 16. I got my testosterone. 16
or 17, 16. What was it?
16. I'm going to say 16. I got my testosterone injections.
Well, first it was she had to start taking estrogen inhibitor,
hormone blockers.
Yeah.
And then testosterone. Yeah. And so one of the major thing, and obviously God was protecting us by like trying to make this take a long process to be able to approve this. And one of the things that happened to me, I don't know what age exactly.
It was like 2008. It was when you came out, so it was like.
It could have been 20, not 20. It could have been when I was 13 or 16 or in between that.
No. Oh, okay. Okay.
That.
Okay.
So, what happened around that time? I remember.
It was in Newport, so it couldn't have been when you were 13, because we lived in Newport.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it had to have been that time because.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
13.
Yeah, 13.
To 16, one of the around there.
No, because we lived here when you were 16.
I think we were trying to find a place. Anyways, around that, I had this experience I've never had before, and having again.
Yeah, you did. You said you had it again when you.
Okay, hold on. So it was sleep paralysis. I remember sleeping. I don't know if it was my room or if it was your room.
You said it was your room.
Yeah. Okay. And it was like there was light coming through the window. Sleep paralysis demon experience. There was light coming through the window, and I was laying down on the bed. And so it had to be like maybe noon or morning. I don't know, because there was still light out. my doorway was open. I'm laying with the doorway in front of me. The doorway from my eyesight, and a window with light coming through. And I'm sleeping on my back. And then I remember my eyes were closed and I couldn't get up. I tried my hardest to get up. I was like sleeping like this.
Like a board.
Like a board, whatever. I was like, wait, why can't I get up? I'm like stiff. I can feel myself awake with my eyes closed. Like I'm awake with my eyes closed, and then not being able to get up, sleep paralysis. And then I was able to open my eyes. It took a lot of, well, maybe God let me open my eyes, or it took a lot of willpower for me to finally open my eyes. And then I still couldn't get up even though I opened my eyes. I don't remember if I saw the demon on top, like I'm laying like this, like a board, and I don't remember if I just saw the demon hovering like that, just seeing its face, or I'm sleeping like this, and in the doorway that I can see from my sleeping position, just standing there in the doorway or at the end of my bed. But it was a blur. It had a silhouette, a human silhouette body that was all a blur. It could have been all one of those positions. I think it was in the doorway. I'm sleeping like this, facing towards the door. And I think I saw it at the doorway and then at the end of my bed. And I still couldn't get up. But it was like I only remember it as a split second. Like I remember being paralyzed felt like a long time, but I don't know what happened after. I don't know if I went back to sleep or if I finally got up and was like, okay, I don't know what that was. So the face was a blur. I didn't see the face. But that was an experience I've never had before at 13 or 14 or 15, whatever, while we were living in Newport. And then
You had one recently, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that one. But it wasn't sleep paralysis. It kind of, but it was more screaming in my ears. But and so now I'm 27. About 2 years ago, what stopped me from continuing my injections is I don't know what overcame me, but I think when you take testosterone, I don't know if it's because of how much I took or if it's God working on me. In all situations, God is working on me, but I don't know what way He worked on me exactly, but I got, every 2 weeks I had to take an injection, and I started falling away, like, I'm getting tired of this, but I still want to be a male. I still want to take the injection so I can still appear as male, be male, all of that. And hating the female things I have to go through. So I started falling away from taking my injections on time. And so, I don't know, I got tired of it, so that must have been God. I was getting, this is annoying, but still want to take it. And then I noticed my, sorry, this is gonna get personal, but I've noticed I would bleed, and so I had to I was like, oh no, I better keep on track with my shots, and then I kept falling away and getting tired of it. And so I was angry and stressed because, I couldn't officially change my gender.
She had the opportunity to, or she didn't have the opportunity, but she was considering doing the bottom surgery.
I got the top surgery.
And the
in
thing,
2016.
Yeah, and the thing that kept her from getting the bottom surgery is she said she didn't want to get it because it wouldn't feel, it wouldn't, there would be no feeling.
There would be no sensation.
I don't know if that's something that has changed. I don't know what the bottom surgery entails, but I think that too was God putting a brakes on it, like
you're not going to have sensation, so why do it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, and so it just stopped me from doing injections, and I think that obviously that was God, me getting tired of my injections, because then it was like God worked on us coming to Him separately,
but together.
Eventually, like, oh, you too, me too.
Well,
finding God.
Yeah, so it was,
but in different situations.
Yeah, okay. So it was in 2021 when we both came to God. I have my birthday is October of 2021. I have it written down somewhere.
October?
Yeah, of 2021.
Your birthday?
My being born again.
Oh. I'm sorry.
So what happened is it was when our former president was not went through the whole thing about the election, and we so first of all, I was all for Trump because he was conservative, so I really appreciated that, but also he wasn't religious, and that's the other thing that I really appreciated, because I didn't want to get into all that religious stuff. I just wanted a good president. So I really liked Trump, and when he didn't get the election in 2020, that was it was really discouraging to me. But we went to all the rallies, like the Stop the Steal rally and yada yada, all those kinds of things. And we were on patriots.win. And one of the things, obviously the whole sickness, and then the whole requirement for the quote unquote cure, the thing that you had to do to get the cured from it. We didn't do that, but so when we were on patriots.com, there were a lot of religious people, and I really wasn't interested in that, but they were like saying, oh, something about Jerusalem and how America's got to get back together with Jerusalem, and it irritated me, because I was like, why are you even worried about what happens with Israel? Why are you even concerned about that? This is America. And when I said that, a okay, first of all, let me go back. So when I grew up, the whole church that I grew up in um, taught us about
Worldwide Church of God.
Yeah, the Worldwide Church of God taught us about the tribulation. I mean, but I didn't really understand the whole concept of it. But they taught us about how it's going to be horrible and how you know, all these things, which now I'm coming to find out that they're true, but not in. But I didn't know that that God had given us a way out of those things, that he we aren't those that believe in Jesus Christ aren't set for. We don't have to go through the trials that will come on earth anyway. So when I confronted this person that was talking,
Keep talking.
Sorry, my mind just kind of he kind of reprimanded me, like, you don't know anything about it, and I got angry that somebody would talk to me like that, because I thought I knew about the Bible. You know, you're talking to somebody that has been in church and all this kind of stuff. But that I want to tell, maybe I'll meet him in heaven, but I really want to tell that person that I appreciate that, because that is, I believe, when my coming back actually started. Like, it actually flipped a switch in my mind, like, oh, there is something really bad going on here. Okay, so that was in I think that it was in 2020. When I finally realized that Trump was not going to save us, is when I realized that I needed to turn back to God. And that it was before October, but I started slowly turning back. I was in a.
But God was giving you that sign. God's not gonna. Trump's not gonna save you. It's not you realizing it, but it's you realizing it and God showing you, hey, it's not gonna.
And then at the same time, Alina was saying, why don't you pray? And I was like, why am I going to pray? I don't need to pray. I don't do that anymore.
And I never say pray.
Yeah, I was like,
it was not me. It was just like, that feels right. That's on Patriots Not Win. Someone said we need to pray for America, and I was like, that feels right. But I was not a Christian. I wasn't like following Jesus. It just felt like a right thing to say or agree with.
Yeah, but she said it like 3 times, and I was just like, you know, the first time I was like, would you stop? No.
Yeah, and I remember, I was
but
telling my mom, why don't you pray? We need to pray. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she said it 3 times, and I was just like...
I don't remember saying it 3 times, but I remember saying it.
Yeah. So the thing that really... Okay, this is... So I told you that I had an experience with what I think was an angel, and then I had an experience with a demon, what I think was a demon. Kind of similar to what happened to Alina, but
when it comes to the demon, not that I haven't experienced an angel, I don't think.
Yeah. But what happened is I was so like I said, I've been on medication, like antidepressant medication for over 20 years, over 24 years. And so I was going through all these. In 2017, here's another thing that happened in 2017. I tried to kill myself, and I took a bunch of pills, and I was literally dying, but I did it in such a way I mean, I knew what I was doing, and I literally wanted to die. I was going to leave Alina here, um, um, and she knew it. She knew what I was doing. I told her, "Look, I'm gonna do this." Um, I ended up. The ambulance came, and I knew that I was dead. I was brain dead, and I went to they. This wasn't the first time that I've tried to kill myself, but this was the first time that I was literally brain dead, and there was nothing. I had no my brain wasn't functioning, and I was in the critical care unit. They had to breathe for me. They said later when I found out, they did pain responses on me, and I wasn't responding to pain. They had to have a tube down my throat. But here's another thing that shook me up a lot, and why I didn't come to God sooner is because I didn't have that angel experience that everybody else talks about. Oh yeah, I went to heaven and I saw angels, and I went to heaven and I saw Jesus. I didn't have that. So to me, that meant there is no God. That was what I came away with that experience. There is no God. What I come to find out later is that the angel experience, those experiences, those are demons. Those are demons that are like leading you in what is Satan is the beautiful. What is he?
He looks like an angel, a light.
Yeah, he transforms himself into a beautiful angel. So when I didn't have the experience of the heaven and the angels, I thought that I was not saved. I thought that I didn't the experience that I had had those 10 years, that gave me all the information that I needed, that there is no God. So I lived my life as
Drinking.
if then I started drinking, yeah, in COVID. This is what happened in October, when this is what made me come back to God, and it was a really very strange experience. So I had gone to these meditation classes because of this depression that I had gone through in 2017, where I tried to kill myself. I literally wanted electroshock therapy because I did not know how to get out of this depression, and so I started going to these meditation classes. And the meditation classes that I started going to, I found out later that they were from a woman that had been I think she was a Seventh-day Adventist or some kind of she had a religious background. They were called what are they called? DT. Dialectical behavioral training.
DBT. Yeah, DBT.
Yeah. And they were good classes. I mean, what they taught you to do was they taught you to when you're I have severe anxiety, and what they taught you to do was to just take your mind off that anxiety, and try to figure out where that anxiety came from, and try to work backwards. And what I learned from that, okay, so first of all, I there's so much going on, but in that October of 2021, I started going back to my meditation. I hadn't done meditation for a while. I had gotten out of the habit. It was something, that I had done for my mental health. So I'm getting ready to be in a quiet position, and I'm getting ready to just notice everything around me. And a voice said, "Pray."
You know what's funny? I just realized. I remember I was did
DTBM.
DBT
Okay, DBT.
come first before I said pray?
Yeah, that was a long time.
So I said pray, and then the pray happened.
Yeah, and then
So that's crazy. Like I said, Mom, we gotta pray.
Right.
3 or something times, and then
Yeah.
God was like,
yeah. So I sat there and I was in a quiet place, and the voice just said, "Pray," and I broke down crying because I knew it was God. So I started praying. I didn't. It was just like, God, I'm. Just come into my life again. And He did. Hold on. Let me get myself together.
wow, that's pretty cool though. Like I know it's not me that did anything. But God it felt right in my heart to say we need to pray.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I heard someone online say, we need to pray.
Yeah.
For America on Patriots.win, and then I was like, that feels right. We need to pray. And then down the road, you hear the voice. Was it audible?
Yeah.
Like you heard it outside your head?
No, not outside. It was in my, pray. Just pray. Okay. Instead of do your meditation, pray.
Okay, and then you had that experience. So it was kind of like
God was working on us. I mean, we were probably getting prayers from everywhere. People were praying like you and me do now, like, bring people to you, God. This is,
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah. So the other thing is that during that time, for about 2 years, I was starting to drink extremely heavily. I had, the bottles of wine. I mean, I don't know. They're not like the gallon bottles, but they're 2 of them probably equals a gallon. I was drinking like 2 or 3 of those a day. Elena was there, and she was getting concerned, and I was drinking and driving, and but I never got pulled over or anything,
or hurt anyone.
But 2 weeks after that, the whole pray incident, I quit drinking and I didn't realize that Elena had been getting tired of taking testosterone, but the reason I quit drinking was because I was tired of being addicted. I was tired of having to go every day and get wine. I was tired of...
So it's kind of like a similar thing. Like, I'm tired of having to keep taking these injections.
Yeah.
Just to get what I want. I think the fact of taking injections, the testosterone, how it affects your mindset, I don't know if it was just me, but like I got angry. Like, bitter. I mean, I'm still working on my bitterness.
And I didn't know this. I didn't know that Elena was angry at the time. She hides things well.
Yeah, somewhat. No. But I'm stressed. I'm angry.
See, we do stress and anger. I just completely shut down when I literally shut down when I feel depressed and stressed. I honestly don't know how.
So it's kind of interesting how we both like, okay, I'm getting tired of these things that we're using to keep going.
Yeah.
And yeah. What's next?
So I wanted to talk about my the depression medication that I took. So I took it for 24 years, and a lot of times it was a max dose. And there were many different kinds that I took. But one thing I noticed, the reason I quit taking those is because so when I started taking them, I was probably 26 when I started stealing things from stores. What they don't tell you when you take these medications is they decrease your inhibitions. So it's like alcohol, but without the without the loss or euphoric feeling of alcohol, or I've never done drugs, so I don't know anything about that, but
I gotta get my stuff ready. Keep going.
Well, come over here.
I gotta get my stuff.
Okay, anyway, so one of the things is that it takes away your inhibitions, and so from the age of 26 to the age of how old was I? 40. I was stealing from stores, and nobody expected or thought that I was stealing that because of the way that I learned how to become a very good thief. But I did get caught one time, and that was enough. I was gonna take and I'd done it before. I was gonna take like $400 worth of merchandise out of the store. It's not something that I hadn't done before, but this again, God was working, and he I got caught. I didn't go to jail. It was like the first offense. But that was enough for me. Like, oh, the next time you could do this, you could spend time in jail. I'd been, when I was, a child, when in 14, I had been in juvenile halls. I knew what jails were like, and I didn't want to go to jail. There's a whole other history. I mean, that's part of the history that I haven't told you. Maybe later I will, but the reason I quit taking the antidepressants is because they were having the opposite effect on me. And I think that that's a lot of what's going on today with all of this anger, with all of these people that are literally going crazy, is they're taking these antidepressants, and it is having the opposite effect. But the people that give out these medications, they don't tell you this. They don't tell you that one of the side effects of antidepressants is being suicidal. There, I've read that many times, like that one of the side effects of these many different antidepressants is being suicidal. I wasn't on them. I don't think that I was, or I was not taking them. Okay, so I was taking them, and I was on, alcoholic. So bad combination. But I just wanted to say that I think that one of the reasons that you have millions of people, like they got a whole bunch of people on this medication, and it is not good for you, but they're not going to tell you about it because it's making them money. Anyway, so I'm thinking that Elena might come back because I think we should end, and we will.
We can expound the next time on more things. And if
Yeah.
you have questions, please ask. And please pray for us. Pray for our family. Pray for our people that are not in our lives anymore. This is our first time uploading, so things may be a little weird. We're open to any advice. Please.
What we would like to do is also do like Bible studies. What we do, we don't read like a whole section. We read one verse at a time because a lot of times one verse is it has so much information in it. So we read the verse in the Bible, and then I go through like the Hebrew or the Greek or whatever the original language is, because a lot of times those they might have the same meaning, but they have different contexts.
And we'll let you know on who we listen to that we learned all this from.
Yeah, I have a lot of time to listen to this stuff.
I work.
I don't.
She stays on, but she's on SSI.
Yeah,
But with this time she's alone and not working, this helps us both learn things, like her to tell me and teach me things if I'm not too tired to learn something.
Yeah, we do Bible study every night. I mean, it's just a personal Bible study, but we feel that need to remain in the Bible. Anyway, we're gonna let you go, and we'll come back maybe another week. All right, bye.